Good evening, I'm Marquise Braxton.
I'm Dylan Aubrey.
I'm Jermaine Pratt.
And I'm Dexter Wright.
Today we're going to be talking about the intersection of race and gender within the media in a debate. And we're going to focus on how women are mistreated in professional sports.
Three areas that we'll be focusing on are endorsements, salaries, and how they're viewed in the media.
Now, the first question that we have tonight is, why is Title IX in place in collegiate sports but not in professional sports?
For y'all who don't know what Title IX is an act where women get paid equally to males in scholarship funds. But this question is a good question because it's truly not an answer to this question. Because if they push the right for women to get paid in collegiate sports equally to men, why not professional?
That is a good question. So I'm going to ask him a question off of his question. And I just want to ask what you guys think of why is there such a large gap between professional sports with women and male salaries when we just heard him say in college they're paid the same?
Well, I think there is an article talking about former NBA player Gilbert Arenas and WNBA star Tommy Charles.
Well, piggyback what Des was talking about. According to the article, the Black Enterprise, the former NBA player Gilbert Arenas was making about $45 million due to his contract. He didn't play the last 2 years of his contract, and he still made $45 million because of the guaranteed contract. And the woman, Tommy Charles, signed a contract in 2010 and played all her games, and she still doesn't make nearly that amount. She made $105,000 a year, and that's crazy. Why she can't make the same money as him, nearly the same amount? She put in the same time and effort in the same industry and still can't reach that amount. And she was the MVP of the women NBA, so this really not adding up. Can somebody please help me out?
Well, I think really it just all sums up to women not being respected, whether it's in the WNBA or in any other field that any regular person works in. Women just simply are not respected in this world, and they just aren't expected to do as good of a job as a man can.
And to go about, we was talking about in the STEM fields, as we talked about in class, I feel like whether women work harder or outwork someone else, pretty much they work their way up the ladder and they got the same education, but they still not be qualified for the job because of the gender. And I feel like this got a lot to do with endorsements as well. And my next question to everyone is, why do you think women don't land endorsements based on skills and looks?
Well, I can say, I mean, any girl can be good, but I think mostly main focus. A lot of people don't even know who's on the endorsements. They just know how pretty she look. Oh, she looks good. Like Skylar Diggins. I know she's a good basketball player, but some people may not even know her, but she knows because of her looks. Like Rockwater. I mean, what's the Jay-Z company?
Yeah, Jay-Z.
Yeah, whatever it was. Whatever they had going on. But that's what endorsement she had when she straight out of college because she knew her looks. He didn't really pay attention to the talents. He went for the looks, and that's why I think back to that point. I think that a girl that looked good will most likely get a bigger endorsement deal.
To go on that, I got an example with Lisa Leslie. She got an endorsement from Nike, but as each year went on, she became better, and she's known as the best woman to ever play in women's the WNBA. But each year she gained more dominance, being the best player in the league. Nike started offering her less money each year for the endorsement. They did that because they felt like as if even though she's good and she may be the best at what she do in the women's WNBA, she still doesn't make as nearly as much sale as men do, and they feel as if men is the driving force for sales. So that's why they kept offering her lower and lower contract endorsements.
Yeah, I would say that because that's really crazy. I really do believe that because LeBron James, for example, he's a great athlete. Like what you say, she's great in the women's NBA, but a lot of people don't know her. That's a lot of people don't know her. That's why he get $1 billion contract for Nike. That's crazy. she's good. She's a very good in the NBA. Like LeBron is. He's a very great player in the NBA.
And I feel as if this got a lot to do with TV time and airtime of people recognizing who actually the person is and who the player is. But if women games are not nationally televised on ABC, NBC, or ESPN, and you can only catch 3 games a year, whereas in the NBA they play an 82-game season and you can catch all the games on the whole season and then catch playoffs, it's different from who knows what. So I feel as if many don't know about WNBA, and they can't physically watch their games unless they like log in on to computers. They can't. It's not nationally televised, and this is why their sales might not be as popular as men, because when you turn on TV, this is all you see, whether it's a game on NBC or ESPN or ESPN 2 or 3. Those are what you see, and people buy what they see. You sell a product off what's been shown. And that's why I feel like the endorsement deals and everything else, men versus women, the men is always going to they're always going to win, because at the end of the day, it's all about wins. And if you're an athlete and you're a male and you win, your face is going to be on this poster because people know you from winning. Whereas if it's a women MVP, it's not shown, or you don't know who the MVP was last year or the year before that because it's not recognized.
And to kind of go off of what Keith said with the media, there's only a few things that I'll pull up on the computer to watch that aren't on live TV, such as if there's a football game I want to see that's not on ESPN. But the reason I pull it up on the computer is because I've already been introduced to it. It's already been on TV. I've seen it so many times that it's just something I like. And with women's sports, you don't really see it that much on TV. And the only time that I could think of, y'all can talk, is when it's the World Cup, Olympics. Those are the only times that you'll really see women's sports. Am I right?
Yeah, there's women volleyball. That's a lot of TV.
And I honestly feel as if, well, it's been research proven that women team sports are not really shown. But whereas tennis players and individual sports as in golf is nationally televised, people know who that single player is, whereas they don't know who the team is. And that's like, it's greater because it's an individual sport going against another individual, whereas it's less significant because it's team versus team.
And I guess people just don't even take the time to really look at the entire team with a WNBA team. Like going back to the Cavaliers, like you could ask Jermaine right now who the starting 5 was for the Cavs last year with the NBA championship, and he can tell you just like that. But honestly, you could ask me who won the WNBA championship last night, and I honestly couldn't know. Just going back to what Dylan and Marquis said, like it's not advertised enough. You don't get exposed to it a lot. And without being exposed to it, how are you supposed to really understand it?
And I don't think that it's necessarily just because we're men. If I went and asked a lot of women involved in my life to name 5 WNBA teams, I don't think that they could name 5 at all. And to kind of go back to endorsements, at USC there was in their feminine research program, they did a study, and it said that 96% of television time with endorsements and stuff like that is towards men. And that's just ridiculous. And to piggyback off that, I'm going to ask the question of how would it be different if how would it be different if women were to advertise the unisex sort of gear or apparel that Nike, Adidas, Under Armour all are showing off?
I honestly feel like they'll gain more in sales because women can only wear women clothing. So if a girl, speaking of, if you saw a younger girl looking up to, let's say, a sports player, and she endorsed or she sponsored Nike clothing, and pretty much if that little girl knew who she was, she doesn't have to play sports, but necessarily if she knew who she was, it'd sell to other females. And if you had female sales as well as male sales, then you're doubling up your profit.
Well, that's the point. They're not going to do that. Dwayne Wade. I got some of them big time names, and then I got some great people that I can just throw out there, and I get more money. Because I think a man will, a day woman, like growing up, I don't think some people will want them, their children to wear like sport clothes, unless you're a basketball player. Like they're not thinking about that. They thinking about them being cheerleaders and stuff. But if I'm right or wrong.
Well, I'm thinking about what we specifically talked about in class, and it's versus off what you saw. And we talked about this specifically with one image of you only see men supporting engineering and science programs, as if you always see the image for a science program or as a chemist or anything like that is a white male in a lab coat. So what we got off of that in class was as if those are the only people that can partake in that career. It was a white man in a career, in a lab coat. It doesn't really show women doing much of anything. And when it did show women, they would fall away from the object as if they was just observing and they was just watching or, you know what I'm saying, looking over what the men was doing, but the men was the centerpiece of the idea. And that resulted into men being scientists and women shying away from the career field because they never saw women and they never saw women doing anything with the experiment. They always looked at it as they observed. Let's go off what you're saying that you wouldn't do that because LeBron this. All right, that's fine. But what about the youth and what about the other little girls that want to do something different and they don't care too much about LeBron? What about if they love tennis? LeBron can't support. I mean, a tennis player is not going to go out and buy LeBron gear because LeBron is big time. They want to know about somebody in their field, and just because you're a winner, I feel like if you're great at something, you should get an endorsement. Somebody should know who you are other than the people that's in your sport. That's just like in soccer. I mean, I feel like going back off salaries and everything like that, the U.S. men's soccer team, everybody on the roster get paid more than women. But the women win all the titles. The women's won like the last three, I think, U.S. soccer championships internationally. But the males have won nothing. But they make triple as much as the women do. And I don't think that's fair in society or anything else.
Especially when you think, in society, everything's based off of winning. If I know you guys agree with that. So, piggybacking off on what you said, if the women are the ones out here getting all the championships and winning consistently compared to the men, I think their pay and TV time and endorsements should definitely reflect that as well.
Yeah, and to kind of conclude with endorsements, kind of like what Marquise was saying, how women have been over the years have faded away from STEM fields because the main focus of it and the big picture of it is just white men in lab coats. And as we learned in class, people are trying to move more towards women being more involved in this. And with endorsements, there was 2 articles by Miss Patrick and Katie Richards, and it talks about how years ago there was three women that you would consistently see on television, and that's Serena Williams, Mia Shaparva, and Lee Na. And Lee Na is a tennis player, or no, she's a golf player. Excuse me. And they're all 3 were the best at their game. They're all 3 the best at their game. But if you look at men, there's so many men that are advertised that you can't say they're the greatest because there's just so many. You can't go out and say that 5 people are the greatest at one thing. And now the tables are kind of turning because, going back onto the big 3, their deals were still nowhere near as big as men were. If you took the 3 best men from 3 sports and those 3 women and compared their salaries from the endorsements, it's nowhere near each other. But now with Serena Williams and Alex Morgan, who's on the United States soccer team, they're really changing the game because they now are landing huge endorsement deals. Serena Williams, you'll see her on commercials with Gatorade and with Beats by Dr. Dre. And Alex Morgan, she's in those Gatorade. She's also in Gatorade commercials. She's in Coca-Cola commercials, Powerade commercials. And it's just the fact that more women are. It's not as many women as there should be, but women are getting more important roles in advertisements. And I just think that is a good step to where we we should be going, and that's really how it relates to our class because we're making strides towards where we need to be.
I honestly feel like when he was talking about endorsements, in the article it says that Roger Federer makes $100 million in endorsement deals, and Serena Williams, who won 22 U.S. Opens, she only makes $58 million. Which I mean, there's a greater difference, but I feel like that should increase in a sense. Whereas if it's 22 titles, she's made history. No one ever done that before. And Roger Federer is great at what he do, without a doubt. I feel like it should be equal since it's the same sport. They win on the same level. Everybody got their own goals, but when you accomplish something that high, I feel like you should have a bonus or something that makes you over the top. You should be known as the best player because that's what you portray.
It just seems like women, have a lot more to do in order for them to. Well, let me put it this way: it seems as if women are doing, the same amount or more as men are to, be the best that they can be and, be champions. But even with all of that extra work and having to factor in, trying to be pretty and live up to, society standards, they just have all these different barriers that they have to cross to even try to reach, the same level as men. And it just seems like, they can't get there.
All right, so final question of the day is state something that will help increase numbers in women's sales with salaries, endorsements, and how they can have a better image in the media.
I mean, I think that people that are in charge of endorsements need to realize that people don't necessarily worry about what the people look like when they're wearing it. Because honestly, if you have a woman up there who she's unnormally skinny and she's wearing this sporting bra that they're trying to advertise. I mean, like those girls, like we've learned in class, women that are in like commercials and ads like that, most of the time they're photoshopped to be so unrealistic that it makes normal women think that they're not good enough. So if you have these women up here who look like they're fake wearing these clothing, girls and women sitting on couches watching it are gonna think there's no way I can look this good in this, so I'm just never gonna get it. If you get the regular professional athletes who don't look as good as those women, who cares? It's more realistic, and I think that's what needs to happen in that part of society. Is it needs to be more realistic because the standard that girls and women think that they have to reach is just unrealistic, and also you'll have men thinking that women need to look like that as well.
Well, I think me personally, I would like a woman that's all natural. Not saying you can't wear makeup in that. I'm talking about like I don't want to see you everyday basis. Not like you have to be up all groomed up and stuff. I want to see how you look everyday basis. When you look good, when you have a little off day. I want to see everything. So that's why I think endorsements should really pay attention to that, and then how they view it in the media. I think they should erase what a woman really supposed to look like and let them be women. Let them just be free. Just stop putting boundaries on people. Let them be free. We in this world where we supposed to be free, but these women are not free. And then you stop then you take off these boundaries for women, making the same amount of money to make it the same amount of money. Men, any kind, whatever you want to do, they need to make the same amount of money if they put the time and effort as a man do. That's coming from a man.
I think we just, definitely from a man's perspective, we need to put more time and effort into promoting women in any way. And it doesn't even just have to be sports. It can be, like you said, in the STEM field, sports, school, whatever it may be. We have to continue to promote women because they are just as important or equally as important as a man in this world, in my opinion.
And for me, I feel like a lot of guys that's on the opposite side of the fence that play the same sport should step up and they should speak for women. They should speak for women. And I feel as if if they spoke up to talk about how they should get paid the same amount of money, or pretty much have the same titles as they do with endorsements or TV time, that this will help increase the numbers coming from an athlete like LeBron James talking about the best woman in the WNBA, or figures like Kobe Bryant going to watch the WNBA game and talk about how that's important for his daughters to see, and want them to be somewhat like them, or if not greater than. I feel like that'll help a lot in increasing in STEM fields and engineers, off what Dex said, to encourage more women to actually be active in those sports or anything they want to do, and just make it seem as if it's no goal that's unattainable for women as well as men, and they should be treated fairly and equal. If they put in the time and work and effort and everything like that, they should be granted with the same amount of awards or achievement or bonuses or endorsements as everyone else. Thank you for listening.
Yeah,
That's
hope,
all.
hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.
We out.